So a lot of you email me and say, Randy, you fly a lot, you travel a lot. I don't like flying with firearms. I don't know what the rules are, blah, blah, blah. Well, through trial and error, I've learned some of the rules, and I will tell you two things to think about. TSA has its rules, and the airline you're flying on may have more stringent rules. Go to TSA, read what the rules are with firearms. Go to your airline and find out what their rules are with firearms, because it's getting increasingly more complicated to fly with firearms. I'm going to give you the basics of what I do, but none of this is a replacement for going out and reading what the TSA and the airlines have to say. So, very first thing, get yourself a case that is bomb-proof. Doesn't matter if it's metal, doesn't matter if it's a hard molded plastic like this Pelican case here. Just know that it's got to be bomb-proof. So when you come into the airline terminal, they're going to ask you if you have a firearm, and you're going to say, yeah, I do. They're going to give you a little orange card. You got to sign it. And when they give that to you, you're saying, okay, this firearm is unloaded and the bolt is out of it. You see this case here, it has lock spots here and here. And because Pelican drilled 2 holes here where you could put locks, there's a different rule that applies between TSA and the airlines. TSA says, you can just put them right here. As long as we can't get this open and get our finger in there, just put one here and here. Well, Delta in the last year has changed their policy that says if your case has a place for a lock, you have to put a lock in it. You better bring a lock for every one of these slots that your case has. I found that out the hard way. I showed up after Delta had changed their rules, and they said, oh, you can't bring that unless you go find 2 more locks. So this case will fit 2 rifles, but for this purpose, I'm just going to put 1 rifle in here. You have to have your bolt removed. Obviously, it's got to be unloaded. If you have a drop magazine, you got to take that out. Here's an important part for those of you who hand load. You cannot fly if you have ammunition that is not in a manufacturer's box. So even if you hand load, I would suggest that you save some of these boxes and you put your ammo in a manufacturer's box. Your ammo has to go in the same case as the rifle and the bolt. So a lot of times I'll have 2 rifles in here, I'll have 2 boxes of ammo. And you're gonna get differing comments from TSA people as to whether or not they want you to put your lock on it now or later. Definitely put your locks in there. Some TSA people will say, okay, put the locks in there, but don't lock them. Other TSA people and some of the airlines will say, no, you gotta lock it. And then make sure you stay at the airline counter until TSA checks this. Because if you leave the airline counter, you go through security, as I have done before, because they said, oh, don't worry about it. You go through security, all that headache, and then all of a sudden you hear your name on the intercom. Randy Newberg, come down to the Delta counter. Randy, come down to the United counter. Because TSA needs the keys to get into my case. So if you're traveling with firearms, show up early. There's always going to be some extra hassle and headache. Make sure you have enough locks for every lock slot on your case. Have a case that is bomb-proof. Make sure you have your ammo in a manufacturer's box. And other than that, it should be okay. The downside of traveling with shotguns, you're going to be buying your ammo when you get there. Because none of the cases I have, and maybe they make them, but none of the cases I have will fit shotgun ammo. Rifle ammo, you can get it in here. So Anyhow, traveling with the firearms, not the end of the world. It's getting more complex, but how else are you gonna do it? Thanks for watching.